Well, hi there, everybody. It's a recap of crazy Saturday sports, even though it's Sunday, April 24th right now. We're going to go over the 23rd's games. I have not even started to think about or preparing actually Sunday's games yet, but we'll have fun going over yesterday's. And yeah, let's do this in under 5 minutes. I like doing the under 5 minutes thing because that works for everybody, doesn't it? All right, so let's do basketball. Now, on its face here, basketball does not look like a great day. It looks like 2-2 and 1-3 against the spread, but actually it's a really good day. And I made bets on basketball day. I won every single bet that I made on basketball today. What did I bet? I bet the Celtics to win because I was like, why is an underdog on the top of this list with a 14% margin? They apparently won. They won 109 to 103 if I got that score right. Like, wow. Okay. I bet on Utah just to win, even though it looked like you could have bet them to take the spread. The algorithm said actually that they weren't going to cover the spread anyway. They ended up barely winning, and I won. I bet on the Timberwolves because I saw the health on the Grizzlies was light and this margin was small. Sure enough, Timberwolves, they end up holding on and winning the game. I bet on Toronto +3 because I saw this margin down here really low as well. And I saw Toronto home, and I thought, why not? And sure enough, that won too. So I won all my basketball bets, a game I don't watch. One thing I will say is all the over-under projections were wrong. Meaning if we projected the game was going to be 225 points, the over-under was 223, the actual was 212. We were wrong. We thought it was going to be over this number. We thought this was over this. It ended up being under. Every one of these was wrong. Look at that. Everyone thought it was going to be under was over. Thought it was going to be over was under. So, oh well, that sucks. But other than that, fine. So, good job basketball. Way to go NBA playoffs. Let's talk hockey. 9-3 didn't feel like as great of a day because I was kind of arguing with the algorithm on some of my bets. Like, I don't know why, but I had the Islanders and they lost to Buffalo, of course. Pittsburgh puts up a ton of goals against Detroit as expected. Carolina comes back. I bet New Jersey here because of the brand new goaltender that Carolina had. Sure enough, they get down 2-0 and they come back and win. So I deserve to lose that game because the algorithm said Carolina was going to win that game. They did. Rangers lose to Boston. I had the Rangers. The Rangers have kind of locked stuff up a little bit almost already. Not everything, but a lot of the playoffs they've already locked up. So in terms of seeding, so they didn't try as hard, I guess. Montreal could not win a game. Ottawa, look at that. Ottawa does that. Wow, amazing. Yeah, I bet Montreal because I like Martin St. Louis. I went to the same college that he did. Nashville and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay leaves no doubt that they are a contender. Florida comes back down 2-0 to Toronto to beat them. That feels like an ultimate slap to Toronto. Toronto, you can just feel them getting ready to choke in the playoffs. I'm guessing they go out in like maybe even the first round. They're starting to lose some weird games here. Seattle and Dallas. Dallas comes back to win this game. Chicago and San Jose. Chicago's just awful. Calgary pours it on late to beat Vancouver and cover. St. Louis blows a 4-1 lead to go to overtime with Arizona somehow and then beat them in overtime. And then Anaheim is Anaheim and losing games to LA. How far are we into this? We only got a minute left for baseball. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about in baseball too. Well, here's what it's looked like really so far when I've been going through this and trying to estimate pitcher years, and it's a kind of a 9-7 day, just like the 9-7 game between the Marlins and the Braves. I did have the Marlins in that game, and they won. Even though it says take Atlanta here, I took Miami, not just because I like to fight against the algorithm that I created, but because I did some simulations down here, and this is why I did this. So I had, Miami and Atlanta's right here. So it has Atlanta barely winning this game under 2021 stats. Well, what were 2022 stats? There it has Miami winning this game. No margin on the game, but Eliza Hernandez pitching okay and Ian Anderson not pitching great. And the bullpen on Atlanta is not good right now. And sure enough, high-scoring game, and Miami wins. So running the simulations in this is huge, and I mean, I'd like to go longer than 5 minutes and talk about baseball because, it's just for a separate video tomorrow. I'll prepare tomorrow, but when you really start working with 2021 versus 2022, you do a lot of interesting different things, and boy, the Mets. I mean, like I won money betting on baseball, and I had a lot of interesting different picks because there was a lot going on here. Oh, by the way, apparently the Bears beat the Steelers by 3 touchdowns, 21-0. 21-0 as we go over 5 minutes and don't care. I mean, what? And I heard there was only 1 home run in this game. And I was just like, what on earth? Now, what's funny is that with 2022 stats, there are crazy ERAs in this game. And I guess even if you add in wind, which I think there was some wind blowing out there, you got a high-scoring game anyway. The over-under was already at, like, I think 11.5 in the morning. As you can see, 11.8 in our scores. Well, one just explodes. And then Detroit, same thing, 13-0. These games were like 9-0 in the second inning. Both. I was like, what on earth is going on? So anyway, lots of fun, lots of action. I never thought of this type of year, this time of year here, as a big betting time of year. I usually think of September and October with football and the starting of all sports going on. But there's, with NBA kind of ending with playoffs, hockey getting almost into playoffs, where this is going to be really fun to look at. And I'll probably do more work on the NHL algorithm in the playoffs because I never really adjust for playoff stats because they're so hard to harness. I don't think RotoWire harnesses playoff stats, or got to go to a different place to get them because this thing kind of gets static and only really relates to the injury report once we get into the playoffs. I'm dragging on and on and on. This is much more than 5 minutes. All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a preview because we've only got a few more days left in April already. It's like last week of April. So after this, I won't be doing as much displaying of all this because it's just too much. Takes too much time out of the day, especially to track this and do this right. I feel like it is getting to the point where it's basically doing what it needs to do if you just plug in the right stats, and it seems to be pretty easy to correct errors and stuff, and it certainly seems to be doing better things here. Look at interesting stuff. Like, you can see, overall, I guess, 128 and 94 is. I'm looking at the record right here, but there's a lot of to talk about. What about just the last 5 days? 34, 22, 61% win. What about the last 2 days? 67. Yeah, I feel it getting better. And doing interesting things because these was super. The Mets was not a close game; they got spanked. But the Angels was a really close game, and we had them further down on the list than the odds makers. And look at all these underdogs on here. Underdog, yeah, the Milwaukee game. I bet this when they were down, they came back and won. The Minnesota game, I did the same thing. No, they were never down. I bet them, but they just crushed. They crushed the White Sox. There was another one. Somebody was down and you could get them. Toronto was down to Houston. They came back and won. Oakland is a huge letdown and a joke. Got to stay away from them. I don't understand why the algorithm keeps picking Oakland. I could only reduce the Oakland here. I got it down to a 7, but this is the thing. Early in the day, this Oakland game, I really got annoyed with Oakland. When you had 2022 pitching stats in here for Oakland, and Texas, just put them in 2022. Yeah, we're doing a video about baseball regression analysis right now. It moved them to the 3rd pick, and this was very deceiving and annoying. As you can see, it gets Texas's runs correctly in both scenarios, right? They win a super low scoring game. Oh my God, so annoying. So it's at least. Here they still get the runs almost exactly right. I'm pretty amazed at that. A lot of good things going on. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. I won't talk forever. Good luck, everyone. I'll be back on Sunday later in the day, and may all your picks be winning, or hopefully may all your picks have won.